And that'll be, for the moment, a first down. And then Randy Moss had the first down, circled back to try to get more, and then Lynch makes the tackle, and instead it will be a third down.
I was talking to John Lynch the other day, and he seems to me like he is better and quicker than he has been in the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, he's making plays in there and converging. You see him in there. When he gets you in his sights, you are going to go down.
3rd and 1 from just outside the 20. Blanco showing blitz, and Andrew Walter looking to change the play. Inexperienced, takes a timeout. Timeout Oakland.
Lovely and talented Sid Cixero. Stop it. I'm the ball, dude.
Catch all your sports news, highlights, and analysis daily on Score Tonight.
Woo! What's he doing?
I don't know.
Check this out, 7:20.
Oh.
For real, count it. Watch the move. Oh, you're my boy, Blue.
Score Tonight, up to 3 times daily, only on NASN.
3rd down and 1 after the timeout. The Raiders have 1 timeout left in the half. Trying to convert here. Crowd is raucous. Stomping, much as they did at Old Mile High. They even built a little vibration into the stands here. That's why the camera shakes from time to time. And on 3rd and 1, Old Raider football. And Moss makes the catch at the 26-yard line and thinks that he wasn't tackled or contacted, and that is the case because now the whistle finally blows and he's down at the 25-yard line. So they take the timeout, and on 3rd and 1, they air it out, and the Raiders try to get back into the game, and that's exactly what they needed.
And that's exactly what Randy Moss will give you. I mean, he's the inside receiver right here. You see the outside receiver comes underneath. Randy Moss just runs straight up the field, and Randy Moss is the original guy that when he's even, he's leaving.
Contact with Dominique Foxworth, but then Moss makes the catch, alertly gets up, then the tackle is made. 2-minute warning in Denver.
Hi, I'm Mark Pryor of the Chicago Cubs. Watch live Major League Baseball all season long, right here on NASN, Europe's leading channel for North American sports.
You can't wrap them up against allergies, but you can treat almost every allergic reaction with Piriton.
Druids Glen Golf Resort, voted European Golf Resort of the Year 2005. A golfer's paradise in the Garden of Ireland. 2 championship golf courses of contrasting design. The luxurious Marriott Druids Glen Hotel and Country Club, featuring 148 specially appointed guest rooms and a magnificent spa and health centre. Visit our driving range, pro shops, golf academy, and get your golfing tips or tuition from our resident PGA teaching professional.
You're watching NASN, the North American Sports Network, a new and exciting sports channel dedicated to the best in live North American sports 24/7. On NASN, you can experience over 100 live NFL games this season, plus the playoffs and the Super Bowl live. Watch up to 175 regular season NHL games and live postseason, including the Stanley Cup Finals. Feel the excitement of live Major League Baseball with up to 260 regular season games and exclusive coverage of the World Series. NASN also brings you an exclusive lineup of college sports with live college football and basketball. And with a daily lineup of sports news, talk shows, highlights, and analysis, NASN is your channel for the very best in live North American sports. Visit NASN.com for scheduling news and information.
Moss for the offense, Champ Bailey for the defense. The lock up here on a first down at the 28-yard line after Moss's 51-yard reception, his longest reception in over a calendar year. And you've got action as number 91, Ebenezer Ekuban, came across the line. But who moved first?
Chad Slaughter hopes it's not him.
Start. Number 65 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
Well, that's Barry Sims, the guard. Hey, there's some passion from Randy Moss.
Right, some passion and some leadership. I mean, he made that play, and you know, success breeds success. You have to get something going to get going sometimes.
That was during the 2-minute warning while we were out for a commercial. Randy Moss exhorting his teammates as Lamont Jordan carries the ball inside the 30, back close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
I think the Raiders have to go back to that stuff they had success with early, and those were the check downs. You'll get in those, and then getting the ball to Randy Moss. I mean, that's obvious that when you have a player like Randy Moss, you have to get the ball to him, but you know, try and get it to him, and then if it's not there, hit the check down. And that's kind of how they started the game. They've gotten away from it, but the Raiders haven't had great field position either.
2nd down and 10 from the 28. Again, Denver has allowed only 1 touchdown in 4.5 games. And that pass is picked off by Bailey. Yes, and he stayed in bounds. At least the initial ruling is that he did. And Champ Bailey, who had a pick last Monday night in the game against Baltimore, that was one of the very key plays in the game, does it again here.
Yeah, I was watching Champ Bailey in practice the other day, Al, and he has great hands. I mean, he made one of the best catches that I've ever seen on a practice field. And you're going to see it right here. I mean, they're trying to run a corner pattern. Bailey ran a better corner than Randy Moss did. There was no way that this one was here. This one had to either be thrown to someone else or thrown over his head and thrown out of bounds. That play cannot be thrown to the corner because Bailey had the corner position.
And perfect footwork, too. Secures the ball, gets both feet down. And they may review it upstairs. It's close enough. And again, you can't challenge. We're inside 2 minutes, but they're going to take a look at it upstairs. From that last look, I thought it was pretty definitive that he did get both feet down. He got them down just about simultaneously.
And I don't know, but just knowing Champ Bailey and watching him, I would bet that he got him in. But you see, he runs the corner pattern better than Randy Moss does. Yeah, he did get him in.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way you can throw that. You could throw something else. Maybe throw it to the back pylon, maybe throw it short, but you can't throw it to the corner because that's where Champ Bailey was. I mean, Champ Bailey is a very, very smart player. He has great speed. He was a 4.28 in the 40, and then he has great hands. He's a whole package.
NBC, a little bit of new technology with both feet in. John Lynch is right there to tell the official there's no question about that. Jeff Triplett went under the hood, and this should be one of those where the first words out of his mouth is play stands.
The play. Player caught the ball, got 2 feet down inbounds, and it is an interception. First down.
Well, I was more concise, but he said the same thing, right?
But that's I mean, you feel that Champ Bailey knows what the pattern is, and he looked like the receiver rather than the defender.
So Bailey does it again. Big pick on a pass intended for Derek Mason against Baltimore 6 nights ago. And now Plummer will just look for some room. The Raiders can stop the clock just one time. They've used 2 timeouts, and they're not going to stop it here. And Denver will be given the opportunity, apparently, to run the clock out.
I'm sure Andrew Walters thinking that, you know, that they got something going and they got in position there, and you know, he tried to force a pattern that wasn't there. I mean, that was one that, again, he had to go someplace else or throw it away, but you couldn't do what he did.
Well, doing the math in my head now, even if they had taken a timeout.
Yeah.
the same
made any
thing.
difference,
They just
right.
needed 2 more plays.
Right. They only had 1 time.
And the clock would have expired before they had to punt. Think about this now as the Toyota halftime show comes up. The Denver Broncos have now gone 18 quarters and allowed 1 touchdown. And that was a touchdown where they played a softer defense. They were leading 17-0 in the 4th quarter against New England and let Brady march it down the field. Apart that, nothing. Bob, Chris, Sterling in the bus. We'll hear from Terrell Owens and Drew Brees as well. Toyota halftime show after these messages from your local NBC station.
Ever wished you could be there to see your team in action? With Game On Holidays, you can combine that big match atmosphere with a holiday of a lifetime for the whole family. We offer city breaks and holidays incorporating all U.S. sports, including NASCAR. All you have to do is visit our website and choose the games or races you want to see, and we'll do the rest. Great seats, great games, great value. Game on!
TV Digital ist da. 14 Tage volles Programm. Top-Übersichtlichkeit im großen Format. Neu und einzigartig in Deutschland. Komplett mit allen Programmen von Kabel Digital Home. Plus ARD, RTL, Pro7 und Co. in einem Heft. Alle 31 Kabel Deutschland Programme mit Bewertung und allen Sendeterminen. Bestellen Sie jetzt Ihr Abo unter 080 5 99 77 44. TV Digital. Das ist die Zukunft.
Call and text your T-Mobile mates more, so you won't miss a thing. One great rate on pay-as-you-go. Mates rates from T-Mobile.
You're watching NASN, the North American Sports Network, a new and exciting sports channel dedicated to the best in live North American sports 24/7. On NASN, you can experience over 100 live NFL games this season, plus the playoffs and the Super Bowl live. Watch up to 175 regular season NHL games and live postseason, including the Stanley Cup Finals. Feel the excitement of live Major League Baseball with up to 260 regular season games and exclusive coverage of the World Series. NASN also brings you an exclusive lineup of college sports with live college football and basketball. And with a daily lineup of sports news, talk shows, highlights, and analysis, NASN is your channel for the very best in live North American sports. Visit NASN.com for scheduling, news, and information.
Hi, I'm David Wright of the New York Mets. Watch live Major League Baseball all season long, right here on NASN, Europe's leading channel for North American sports.
Moving forward.
Halftime greetings, Sterling, Bob, Chris, and the bus. If this keeps up, the Raiders are going to be the only winless team left in the National Football League because the Titans, the Bucks, and the Lions all managed to get into the win column today. Let's roll highlights from some of those games, beginning in the nation's capital, where Tennessee, which had been knocking on the door, finally walked through. Vince Young played pretty well. Here he hits Brandon Jones for the touchdown. They go on to win 25-22 with Travis Henry rushing for 178 yards. What about your Bengals against the Bucks?
Yeah, they had a questionable roughing the passer call, and that led to this. Bruce Gradkowski firing one into Michael Clayton. He drops it, initially ruled incomplete, but after review, they called it a touchdown, and the Buccaneers got their first win.
Detroit got its first win. Think Clayton was happy about that. Meanwhile, in Tampa, Detroit got its first win. Big weekend in the Motor City. Lions get to the World Series. Tigers in the series, Lions in the win column. Roy Williams with the catch. Here's a kid wearing his uniform, gives him the football, little pat on the head. They hang on against Buffalo 20-17.
Carolina and Baltimore. Jake Delhomme drops back, finds his favorite guy, Steve Smith, 72 yards later. It is 23-14, and Carolina comes away with a big, big win.
And when Steve Smith is in their lineup, they're 4-0. What a game in St. Louis. Back and forth. Rams led 21-7 at the half. Wild fourth quarter. They're trailing at this point 27-21. Time running out. Bolger to Holt, 67 yards and a touchdown. They go up after the point after 28-27. But last play of the day, Josh Brown from 54. He hit twice from 49 earlier in the fourth quarter. This is good. And Seattle wins it 30-28. Huge game in the NFC West. What about the Saints? They are now 5-1. They led 17-3. Then Philly scored 21 straight to take the lead. But then Drew Brees comes back to Joe Horn for 48. That ties the score at 24. Later on, an 8.5-minute, 16-play drive. Chews up all the time. And then it's John Carney from 31 to win it, which they do. 27-24. And after the game, here was a happy Saints quarterback, Drew Brees.
There's a lot of passion and emotion here in New Orleans. As you can see, I think all 70,000 fans are still here, except for the Eagle fans that left. But they're still cheering and having a great time because this means a lot to them, just like it means a lot to us.
This is the story of the league. A lot of things are happening, but the Saints are the story of the league to this point.
They are, and if they can continue to run the football, stop the run, and Brees manage the football game, not throw the interceptions in the red zone where it can hurt them, it's going to be tough to beat them.
This division is known for quarterback play and defensive line play. The Saints defensive line got after Donovan McNabb and Drew Brees, 275 yards, 3 touchdown passes.
You know, our Peter King was on the phone with Drew Brees just a while ago. Brees and a few other Saints went to Emeril Lagazi's restaurant in New Orleans, and when they walked in, the entire restaurant stood up, gave them all a standing ovation, and they were chanting, "Saints, Saints, Saints." They own the town at 5-1. Now, don't go anywhere. Terrell Owens scored 3 touchdowns today. We will hear from him when we return in less than a minute.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, I'm Paul Konerko of the Chicago White Sox. Watch live Major League Baseball all season long, right here on NASN, Europe's leading channel for North American sports.
Of our Player of the Day vote on NBCSports.com, Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger wins this week's Golden Peacock Award. Meanwhile, in Dallas, Terrell Owens with 3 touchdowns today in the Cowboys' win over Houston. After the game, he talked about his sideline conversation with quarterback Drew Bledsoe.
Time and time again, you know, I try to get on the same page with Drew, and we kind of worked at it today, and I told him, dude, just trust me, you know. I know how to play the game, you know. When the ball is in the air, I know how to go attack it. I know how to go get it. You know, every ball I know is not going to be perfect, but just trust me and just know that I'm going to give you my best effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I guess the slate's wiped clean now. I was sitting there, we were watching the game today, and Houston's up 6-3, and Dallas doesn't look very good at all, and I'm thinking, you know what, this is all going to fall on Terrell Owens' head, and they're going to blame him for the loss because of the disruption. I'm wondering, is he going to get cut, is he not? Then he comes back in the second half, and there's 3 touchdowns that he scores, and now it's just everything's okay, which I guess is the way it is in the National Football League.
For a day or two. He caught 1 pass in the first half. Caught 4 in the second half. He only had 5 catches for 45 yards, but 3 of them were touchdowns.
But Sterling, don't you find it a little bizarre? I mean, this isn't like a roller coaster, right? This is one of those bungee things that shoots you in the air and then slings you back down. I mean, I don't know what to think anymore.
You know, after 6 weeks in the National Football League, the word you should start to hear is identity. And the identity of the Dallas Cowboys is Terrell Owens. And remember, you can say all the things you want, like him or hate him, like a lot of people do. Remember this. Tony Romo comes in that football game late in the fourth quarter when the game is already decided. It is in hand. Houston has no chance of winning. And what does he do? He throws a touchdown pass to Terrell Owens. That is only allowed if head coach Bill Parcells allows that play and that execution to be called. That tells me that all is well in Dallas, and the Dallas Cowboys know exactly what they're getting.
But Bill Parcells needs to call Terrell Owens' number earlier. In the first half, you have to give this guy a chance to get going, because if he gets going, he's one of the best football players in the NFL, but you have to give him the ball early enough so he can make some plays.
The identity of the Dallas Cowboys is Terrell Owens. What in the name of Tom Landry and Roger Staubach is happening before our very eyes? Enjoy the second half.
This has been
You want to know more about German baseball? Just click www.baseball.de.
There's nothing you and I won't do. I'll stop the world and melt with you.
You pick the phone, you fix the monthly bill. So you always know what's coming. You fix from T-Mobile.
Manning sees the blitz coming, stands in, he airs it out, he's got it, touchdown! Peyton stands in, he throws it deep to Reggie Wayne, touchdown! Looks, throws back in the end zone, touchdown! Sets, rolls to the right, he airs one out, intended for Marvin Harrison, touchdown, Marvin! Peyton, he throws to Stokely, touchdown! That's the record breaker! His 49 touchdown pass.
You're watching NASN, the North American Sports Network, a new and exciting sports channel dedicated to the best in live North American sports 24/7. On NASN, you can experience over 100 live NFL games this season, plus the playoffs and the Super Bowl live. Watch up to 175 regular season NHL games and live postseason, including the Stanley Cup Finals. Feel the excitement of live Major League Baseball with up to 260 regular season games and exclusive coverage of the World Series. NASN also brings you an exclusive lineup of college sports with live college football and basketball. And with a daily lineup of sports news, talk shows, highlights, and analysis, NASN is your channel for the very best in live North American sports. Visit NASN.com for scheduling news and information.
The Broncos on NBC's Sunday Night Football.
The fans have been bugging us all week about beating the Raiders. They don't care if they're 0-4 or what.
This has been going on for years.
You know, they always got a good chance of beating us because they get so hyped up for this game.
Bring their best effort. They're searching for the first win, so, you know, it kind of makes the opponent a little bit tougher.
I mean, they have great players on that team that can make big plays.
It's pretty heated. The fans in Denver looking for a victory as well as our team.
And welcome back to Denver. Al Michaels, John Madden, and Andrea Kramer. The halftime score is 13-0, and the Raiders will get the ball as we start the second half. Chris Carr is back to receive. Paul Ernster to kick off. Second half underway in Colorado with the touchback. And let's check in with Andrea Kramer.
Well, Raiders right tackle Langston Walker took a blow to the head, and the Raiders are calling him questionable for his return. Now, at the end of the half, we saw the Champ Bailey interception of the pass intended for Randy Moss. You guys have been talking about how Randy Moss seemed to be invigorating the offense. Well, Moss came off the field, took a knee, and was extremely frustrated and had some less than flattering words about his quarterback.
Good ears, Andrea. First down from the 20-yard line. Jordan. Well, that was after Moss had the 51-yard reception, and then Champ Bailey was right there, and as John pointed out, Bailey couldn't have played it any better as a wide receiver.
Right, and I don't know what Andrew Walter could have done to get the ball on that play anyway, to Randy Moss. And you know, when a quarterback throws an interception, you don't have to tell him about it. You don't have to say that you're not happy with it. He's not happy with himself, and there's no one harder on the guy that threw an interception than the guy. There's no one harder on the guy that drops the ball than the guy that dropped it. You don't have to tell him.
2nd and 10. Walter going deep. And this time, 3 guys surround Moss, and it's John Lynch who almost had the interception. You had 3 blue shirts and Moss and the official back there falling down in the middle of the action.
Yeah, and now I think when you're doing that, I mean, the Broncos are on to Randy Moss, and they're giving him the respect that you have to give him. So now that means if there's 3 guys back there, he's the inside receiver there, and if you're going to take 3 defenders deep with you here, there has to be someone open other places. So that's where you have to go, even if you throw it to the official here who's falling on his back.
You know, it's interesting. You've got Champ Bailey, and he's not one of the 3 guys. Because Moss lined up on the other side. They don't match Bailey up with an individual, but they just keep him over on that side as Walter throws under pressure against the grain and incomplete.
That was an interesting stunt. Ebenezer Ekuban was the guy that put the pressure on Walter, and he looked like he was lined up in the middle, and then he started out to the left, ended up at the left end, and just rushed, and no one blocked him. You see, he's out there. Here he comes from the outside, and no one blocks him at all. That was Ian Gold coming from the outside.
3 and out for the Raiders. Down by 13. Leckler's punt. For him, that's a short kick. Fielded by Darren Williams. Williams to the outside he comes. Can he get around the corner? He loses the football in Raider territory right in front of the Denver bench. And the officials are all getting in there to try to figure out who has it. And the ball is going to belong to Oakland. Robert Thomas. So it's Williams trying to get around on the outside, get around the corner and stay in bounds, and winds up losing it. Turnover goes to the Raiders.
Some people think the internet is a good thing. The most powerful educational tool the world has ever known. It's preserving our history, keeping the past alive forever. It's the only place where freedom of speech truly exists. Some people think the internet is a good thing. What do you think?
As well as being a thirst-quenching soft drink,
Right, Dave?
a Sprite is also a sort of goblin. This Sprite is not so refreshing at a festival. And it definitely hasn't got any taste.
Here we go. Right and left and right and right. Left and right and right and left.
Try new Sprite Z. Great Sprite taste, 0 added sugar.
Live and exclusive Major League Baseball on NASN gets even closer to the World Series as we bring you live coverage of the Championship Series. The 4 best teams in baseball battle it out for a shot at the World Series in a best-of-7, and NASN will bring you all the action live. The MLB Championship Series live and exclusive on NASN. Log on to NASN.com for scheduling and information.
When I worked in an ice cream store, and I could make a tough banana split, which is what that was.
Yep. Hungry. Good made the strip. Thomas gets the recovery from the 48-yard line now. Oakland trying to make some pay after the turnover, and Lamont Jordan gets taken down back at the line of scrimmage by the linebacker DJ Williams.
I remember DJ Williams. He's from De La Salle High School in Concord, and They won 151 straight games, and D.J. Williams was one of the best high school players I'd ever seen, and he was a great running back. I remember I went to their banquet when he was a senior, and I said, if I've ever seen a high school kid that could come out and play in the NFL the next year, it's D.J. Williams. But as a running back,
he's part of a defense that's phenomenal at this point, and that's Alvis Whitted, who sees his first action of the night, making the catch at the 41-yard line. First catch for him, first time they have thrown to him. But thinking about that graphic for a second, 49 drives against the Denver defense, 49. One touchdown. Talked about it just before the half. And that touchdown against a different kind of Denver defense. They had a 17-0 lead in the fourth quarter at New England, and they kind of let Brady pick and thread his way down the field for 80 yards, which he did. And then that Denver defense again as Jordan gets knocked down in the backfield. Well, on cue, John, there's DJ.
Right, and that's what they do so well is the linebacker on the play side, he gets penetration so that you don't have a chance. You see DJ Williams will come in, he'll get the penetration right here. He gets in the backfield at that point, then the other linebackers flow. So he's going to spill it. The middle linebacker, Al Wilson, would come over the top of that. But the big thing is DJ Williams, the play side linebacker, getting in the backfield.
Second and 11, and they give the ball in an inside handoff to Zach Crockett. The fullback takes it to the 31-yard line. So I think this is the first time the Raiders have run that play this season. In fact, Crockett, who has seen some action as a blocker in the prior 4 Raider games, that's his first carry of the season.
Right, and we were talking about how this Denver Bronco has speed and how they flow. So what they do is they give them some misdirection and come back. You see, they start like they're going to run to the right, then bring Crockett back to the left, pull the right tackle around, so they get the Broncos to flow, which they will do quickly, and then use their quick flow against them.
Close enough to measure. Offensive coordinator is Tom Walsh for the Raiders. A lot of stories about Tom, who hadn't coached for a number of years and was running a bed and breakfast and was the mayor of a small town in Idaho.
And he was the offensive coordinator of the Raiders back when Art Shell was the head coach of the Raiders. And when Art got the job again, one of the first guys that he contacted was Tom Walsh. And I remember the day that they announced Art Shell, I went to that press conference, and Tom Walsh was standing in the back of the room, and I didn't think anything of it at the time. I thought it was just an old friend coming back to see Art get the job, and then lo and behold, he's the offensive coordinator.
He's the ex-mayor. Guess who got the job? His wife took over as the mayor. It sounds like Chicago politics.
All in the
30s. Third down and 1 from the 31-yard line.
I think he fumbled
and
it.
He lost the ball. John Lynch is there to emphatically say, we have it.
Well, you talk about shooting yourself in the foot. This is just a definition of the Raiders season.
Now you got a scrum that develops away from the play.
You get there and you can't even get the snap in a quarterback sneak.
Crowd silent, awaiting the signal. Now they're chanting, awaiting the signal. And it's recovered by the Raiders, so they held on to it. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, what happened is Jake Grove, the center, he got the ball up there and then left, and he has to do that because it's a quarterback sneak, and it looked like Andrew Walter didn't leave with him. And I think the Raiders have to go for it. I mean, they're going to go for it on 4th down, and you have to. And if you can't pick up a first down, then you don't deserve another shot at it anyway.
Right. The option's a 48-yard field goal. Forget it. To make it a 10-point game. 4th and 1. Will they get the first down? Well, they're going to get it, but that was tough. They made it tough for Jordan, but he does get to the 30-yard line and a new set of downs with 11 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
You know, we were talking about how good this Bronco defense is, and you can't score against them. They do have a little of that bend but don't break to them. You know, you can get some things, but the closer you get to the goal line, the tougher they get. I mean, that's taken on the lead there. That was just a second effort by Lamont Jordan there. He ran into his tackle on the play, didn't have anything, but when he kind of did a turn there, he picked up that first down.
Now at the 30.
Jordan.